Flashback 3.1 Cataloging and Mapping of Millmore's Empire. The next afternoon, we met as planned over lunch in the hotel restaurant. The team looked much less frazzled than our crazy long night, and returning to the hotel before barely dawn. I opened the conversation with innocuous comments on the sweetbreads on the menu, actually being animal intestines, thymus glands, or even their pancreas. Sweetbread was not sweet, or a bread, at least not to me anyway. Katie grimaced a grossed out expression and said, "Ew, and they sell that here to eat? In a public place? That's disgusting," she exclaimed. Deputy Taylor smiled. "Sweetbreads are full of nutrition and protein. You should try some. I will order them, and you can have at least a bite." Katie said quietly, "Pass." Bob said, "I will break sweetbreads with you, Deputy." I looked to Katie. "I'm with Katie on this one. You two should enjoy your animal entrails together." I chuckled. I agreed with Katie a lot. Eating animal intestines seemed very gross to me as well. So we ordered our food and began a more serious discussion. I started out, "Okay, I went over the list of cult members, businesses, churches, and temples that Lesky gave us last night. It is a very long list, and at the end, it says there are more lists available upon completing this list." I exclaimed excitedly, and get this, I tallied the dollar value associated with each, and this first cultist list is worth $100 million easy. That means, well, there are about 2,500 lists of cult baddies if each list is worth $100 million. So wow, I think we could spend the remainder of our lifetime shutting down cultists and taking their money. In fact, I believe it would take many lifetimes to actually hit every cult business, church, and individual and shut them down and claim their portion of the inheritance. I concluded, I think we should prioritize smaller cult targets first, get some insight into what we're up against, and get maybe some experience engaging with these Baal scumbags. We'll get through the entire list eventually, I suppose, if time permits, and we live long enough. This is a really big list. But I am projecting smaller targets will translate to easier targets, and therefore more likely success. We will work up to taking on the tougher targets, and therefore more money. Lesky organized the cult list by geographic location, so I wrote down a number next to each one for the order maybe we should consider going after them. What do you guys think? Deputy Taylor asserted, "That's the right plan, especially if these cultists are out for blood, for our blood. We need some experience dealing with them." The deputy asserted further, "My assessment is, we need to take every cult target gravely seriously. Our lives may depend on it. We need to treat every mission like it's a military special operation. Readiness, prepare, practice, surveil, and deploy. We need to adopt SIPD-style engagement. Scan, identify, predict, decide, and execute. We can't let random thinking and behaviors get in our way. Our lives are in threat if we do. We need to learn how much they do know about us, and how much they know about you, Richard. Do they even know about Bob, Katie, and me? If not, it could work to our advantage. We need to research as much as we can about each of our targets, their areas of operation, anything we can learn about them. We need to stake out each target to learn their schedules, their patterns, their habits, their behaviors, relationships, what armaments they may have. We need to obtain shipment boxes in each target area so we can ship incorrectly labeled caches of weapons and ammunition and gear before we arrive. We need fake identities and corresponding passports, and United States and international driver's licenses, and credit cards and local currency. We need translator apps on smartphones or something, with key topics already pre-communicated. Sometimes you don't have time to use an app or you don't have a connection. We need map apps too, as well as physical laminated maps for the key target areas and structures if we can get them. Deputy Taylor, looking pleased with her very thorough itemized assessment, asked, "Does anyone think otherwise?" Bob said somberly, Yeah, that sounds like a good list to start from. Very good list." "Deputy, I'm glad you know what you're doing. We sure as heck don't know what we're doing," Bob pleaded, practically, for her help. Taylor looked to Katie and me for our formal approval of her plan. Katie smiled with a chance to use her new-found word. "Hoo-ah!" she exclaimed with pride. I went along with Katie. "Hoo-ah!" "Thank goodness you are here, Miss Taylor." Bob looked deeply appreciative to the deputy, having confidence that she would be able to protect him with her ex-military special operations soldier muscle background. It apparently gave Bob the necessary courage he might otherwise not have, were Deputy Taylor not there protecting us, and specifically protecting him. The deputy said, "Okay, let's finish up our lunches and get some stationary supplies. I want us to make a physical cultist target investigation board. You know, like you see on detective shows where they map out crimes on investigative boards. It's much easier to move stickies and photos and printouts on a physical poster backboard than it is to use an app or a computer or just talk about it. And we can all work on the board at the same time, where an app, only one person can use it, even if it's on a computer." I echoed, "Yeah, I always found physical whiteboards were way more effective at work for planning and communicating than projectors or PowerPoint slides or something, frankly, I found stupid like that." Bob nodded. "Definitely. Right tools for the right job. This is more CSI than a pitch. Cardboard, here we come." Bob's voice started to trail off, indicating his lack of enthusiasm. Katie exclaimed, "This can be fun! I'm looking forward to learning about all these cultists and taking them down. It is exciting. I'm still so excited." Deputy Taylor looked disapprovingly at Katie's thrill-seeking zeal. "This is life and death, Katie. I respect your enthusiasm, but let's be prudent. Let's use caution. Go slow, go steady, go smart. Right now, we know more about our enemy, I think, than our enemy knows about us. Let's keep it that way. Let's be covert, stealthy. Let's treat everyone and everything like they're a threat. If we stay alert, vigilant, and we watch each other's backs, we can succeed. It only takes one of us to get the team in trouble, though. So everybody, be careful, please." We returned to our rooms to sleep from lunch all the way until the next morning. We were so exhausted, and we were struggling to focus. It did not seem like the time to push forward, and so we had rested.